Hi Simone.
Hi Marcel, how are you?
Doing fine, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Thanks for your invite.
Can I get you a coffee?
Oh yeah, that would be great.
Let's go.
Thanks.
Marcel, what are we going to talk about today?
We're talking about the sustainability transformation and its implication on workplace IT infrastructures.
Great, very interesting. Let's
It
sit
is.
down.
Thanks.
Marcel, sustainability is currently becoming more and more a main focus point of the corporate management. What does this mean for workplace IT?
Yeah, so just recently we've seen that just within a year there is a rise of almost a quarter in numbers that CIOs have put sustainability as a topic on their agenda. So obviously there's no go around, right? Hence, we need to really get down to the grounds of what this means, not only for workplace IT, but also for IT infrastructures and all our habits and rule sets and everything around. And this is exactly what I wanted to talk to you about today.
How can companies best address these topics and thereby push the issue of sustainability?
Well, I guess first and foremost, it is good to have a certain amount of a strategy in place, right? To have it on the radar is the first step into the right direction. To put it inside of all the relevant entities, personas within your company, and to actually meet certain requirements that likely will also come from a legislation point of view in future. So with regards to that, it is clear that we need to act now and that we can't wait any longer to see what other circumstances and conditions in this complex scenario need to play a role. And IT is clearly one of them.
Talking about Fujitsu, how can Fujitsu, as a provider of IT hardware, support companies that want to advance sustainability?
Well, obviously we're subscribed to our customers and we're obsessed with them, if not to say. So that means that we're looking very, very holistically into the concepts that need to be developed. Certainly, as a matter of fact, it's not only about provisioning of hardware, because there's so many things that play a role with each other and how they are intertwined. And if obviously you now put this in perspective with digitalization, you can't set these two things apart. So there is a transformation in sustainability and there is a transformation that arises from digitalization. At Fujitsu, we consider that this is, one kind of eternal thing that needs to be driven in nowadays economy.
Who will actually benefit from Fujitsu's sustainable hardware and consulting services?
Well, ultimately, the entire society. That's our prescription. If you concrete it down to our individual customers, of course, there's different entities that we bring together into one team. It's not that we in singular look at IT department versus facility management versus HR. This is exactly what our starting point makes different, to make sure that we really will drive IT equipment and infrastructure for the usage of all different personas, regardless what generation they're of.
Can you give an example on how companies are driving their IT sustainability?
Sure. Well, in general, we see the demand in tenders coming up for certain certifications, the measurable things. But we do have a customer, unfortunately I can't name that customer in this setup, and we're at very early conceptualization stage for the time being, where it is about the electrification of the workplace in conjunction with all the different personas, facility, IT, HR, all the people involved have carved out a concept where they really want to set free electric energy at the workplaces only for the time being. And that all comes embedded with smart building technologies to, for instance, control heating systems, lighting, and the like, to make sure that we're not talking silos, that we're not talking building, IT, rule sets, cultural factors in individualism, but that we all tie them together in once. And this is clearly where they are building upon our support to make sure that our Livebooks and Esprimos and Celsius workstations are running in their respective individual setups as smooth as possible.
How is Fujitsu's approach to this topic field different compared to the market?
Sustainability and all discussions around this with their prescribed environmental impact have a very huge potential of greenwashing. And I said we're obsessed with our customers, but we're not obsessed to do something negative. Hence, we would always raise our hand as soon as it gets into a greenwashing thing. And especially when you consider a workplace scenario, the hybridity of work, working from anywhere, hybrid meetings, all that stuff, yes, it pays into an end-to-end sustainable view as to how you want to do meetings. On another hand side, it also would allow companies to calculate stuff that isn't arousing from their innate activity. So that is clearly something where we look very detailed and very honest into the things, right? And if you want to be more sustainable and to become net zero, it's going to be a longer path up until we get there. And that is what we're very aware of.
Marcel, that was a really great, quick overview. Now, if that is not enough for me, if I want to learn more about Fujitsu's sustainability offers, where can I get more information?
Well, the easiest and most direct way is always to get in touch with your sales rep or account manager. They know all the pathways into the central or local national organizations for the people who are engaged in sustainability questions. Another way, very digitally enhanced, would be to book a CX lab session where we bring the experts and the respective individuals right to the table, both in a hybrid and in a real world setting, to make sure that we can talk about your digital and sustainability transformation all at once.
Thank you, Marcel. That was a really interesting interview.
Thanks for having me.